First is Dr. Silence interview.
When should we build interpersonal and organizational trust? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, the main reason is because trust is the foundation of communication. If you can't trust someone, you can't believe what they're saying.
Yeah.
So unless you trust them, you can't actually communicate. Communication is built on trust. And all businesses and organizations rely on their face, on their public perception to communicate, not only to sell their products or services, but in fact the goodwill of the community, of the consumer, relies upon the community or the consumer trusting the organization or business to sell to them in the first place. And that all comes down to this issue. Now, how is a different question, but if why is the question, it's because it's the foundation of communication.
Okay, thank you. Second question is, why do people distrust the government information?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's a hard one. See, the theory is easy. In practice, it's hard. In theory, we know why businesses need to work hard to earn trust and why people, individuals, need to work hard to build trust. But with governments, there is a sense that the government is somehow separate from the people, that it's above the people, that it's away from the people, that the people can't always communicate easily what they want from the government. The government easily tells people what to do, but people struggle to communicate effectively with the government. Even in democratically elected countries where you would think that people would feel that they had some sense of control or some sense of accountability from their representatives, still, nonetheless, people feel distance from their governments. I think that's the beginning of the problem for why they don't trust the government's information. Because they feel separate from the government, because they feel it's hard to speak to power. We have a different problem. I don't know how much time you have for this or how many answers you wanted, but there's a different problem, a bigger problem in the world right now. It's what we call post-rational, post-P-O-S-T hyphen-dash rational, R-A-T-I-O-N-A-L, post-rational. We are living in a post-rational age. It's hard for us to see. It's always hard to see the time that you're living in. The present is too close, and we have no perspective on it. When things are further away in time, it's much easier for us to see and say, oh, that's what that was about. That's why that happened. Things are happening now are very hard for us to see. There's no perspective on what's happening. This won't translate well, sorry.
Okay.
But, because of the development of the internet, we should be able to rely on the information. We now have access to almost all the knowledge that human beings have ever generated. All the libraries, all the books. We have access to all these things. We should know more than we ever did before, but we feel less informed. We feel less certain. And we can see this play out in figures such as Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, who literally, routinely, on a daily basis, lies, says things that are not true, that can be proven to not be true. And yet, nobody seems to know what to do about it. Because everybody's experiencing the same problem, which is that we have access to all this information, but we find it hard to verify it in a way that is satisfying or satisfactory. I feel sorry for Americans right now. They must have a very hard time. It's not just ideology. It's not just you believe this would be better or that would be better. Having a leader that disagrees with you is nothing new. And having your feelings not be in line with the government is nothing new. That is the condition for a lot of the people all of the time. But this is different. This is actual things that are not true, that can be proven, and yet people don't know what to say.
Yeah.
this is the experience for all of us. We have access to this incredible tool, this technology, the internet. But somehow it has created a sense by which we're less certain than ever of what is to be believed.
Okay.
So the problem with the information is not their information, it's that we're all in a position of doubt that we weren't in before 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Okay, is that enough?
Yes.
Okay, good
Thank
luck.
you for
No
your
problem.
answer.
Second is Alona interview. He is a UNSW global language teacher.
It's good. I mean, you're working hard.
Okay, let's begin. First question is how to strengthen the trust between the public and the government.
Oh, really? How to? So what? How to? What do I think? How to strengthen the trust
Yeah.
between?
Public and the government.
Right. Okay. So, you want me to give some solution or what I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, the problem is a lot of politicians, for example, make all these promises during election time, and then they don't keep it and fulfill it. You know, they change their mind, so the public lose trust.
Yeah.
And but if they kept their promises and stuck with what they said they were going to do, of course, then we'd trust them more. Yeah, so I think that's one factor. Secondly, I think the problem is many politicians sort of don't. I think they're out of touch with the real people, and they're kind of little their bubble, the political bubble, and they need to get out there and live amongst the real people, and see how they're really struggling, especially for example, families having to feed and educate all their children, medical bills and things like that. Yeah, and and also it's thirdly when we see politicians on the television, the government and things like that, having so many issues with their relationships, poor relationships amongst themselves, always fighting and criticising, putting each other down, not supporting each other, that to me is not good, and it makes me not feel, if they can't get along with each other, and I find it's not very trustworthy, But also I think there are many things, I feel like there are many secrets that they keep from us, from the public. Not telling us sort of a lot of the information of what's really going on and so on. Yeah, so I think getting along with each other more, supporting each other, not criticising, will make them, seem like better people, more trustworthy. It's like, what is this about? Is it about you and your colleagues and your fighting and winning? When your job is to be looking after the public. It doesn't appear to be that way.
Okay. Yeah. Second question is, which company do you think does well in building organization trust?
I don't know. One more time, sorry. What? Oh.
Which company do you think does well in building organization trust? 6.
Oh, right. Yeah, yes. Which country? Oh, company do you think does well in building?
Company, yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course. Yeah, it's a hard one. Well, of course, there's well-known, places like Google, but they look after their employees. In order to, they've got good employees. They look after the employees. Their employees are going to work hard for them, for the company, in order though to make money for profit. So I thought maybe it's trustworthy, but let me think about it. And there are many companies I guess I don't trust because they're just all for profit. Let me think. But I think it's getting better, because I don't know if this seems like relevant, but now they have many surveys. So a lot of companies, like you call up and they do recordings and they have surveys. So for example, Optus or banks, even though they're very untrustworthy, or they want you to rank them, provide feedback on their service. That I think is a positive thing. I'm trying to think of other company I speak to recently. Well, many companies are doing this, but they want to improve service because they want to keep customers. But at the same time, it could be a good thing because they can learn how to build trust. What kind of you mean, like corporate companies? Do you do food, anything? Yes, it's difficult. Yeah, I don't know. How about you? Do you know of any companies?
Yeah, I think Alibaba.
Alibaba,
yeah, is a good company because if you buy the fake goods,
yes,
they will return your money and send you a
refund and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that's good. So they're trustworthy. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a good point. I don't do much online shopping.
Yeah, I
I
like online shopping very much.
Because I've had bad experience with online shopping.
Oh yeah.
Very bad.
No.
So if you ask me the opposite, some untrustworthy companies, I can give you many. Yeah. So unfortunately for me, I've had bad experience. But I've had a couple of good experiences.
You can tell me your better experience your.
Well, don't buy anything on Facebook, okay?
Okay.
Oh my God, they are, and I don't trust Facebook, and I shouldn't use it, and I do use it, but Facebook has a responsibility to, and it's a massive company, right? And they should be able to afford to monitor the types of companies which are selling the goods. So, for example, I bought many clothing of, not Kathmandu, North Face. No, not North Face. One of those, not Kathmandu. No, I trust them. Not North Face. Anyway, it was some clothing, winter coats and things like that, and it looked very genuine and authentic. Anyway, it was an absolute con. It was ripping people off. It was a fake company. And even people, so I don't know what that company is, but it was fake. It wasn't the real company. But people are posting and saying, don't buy this product, it's fake, it's a scam. And yet Facebook still didn't take it off. And another like hair products, creams on Facebook. They offer a sample and then they get your credit card details, and the next thing you're locked in to hundreds of dollars. Yeah. And, because they didn't send you that, and it happened to me once. So I thought I'd never let this happen again. So I double checked with another company, and they did it as well. So you have to ring up and try and get out of this contract, and they take hundreds of dollars. It's terrible. Yeah. Often they advertise some fashion. It looks really good in the pictures. And so I looked at some reviews. I thought this time I'm going to be smart and I checked some reviews, and the reviews were very honest and they were bad. So apparently the advertising was great, but the product when you got it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate Australia delivery.
Right. Is it not good, is it?
Yeah. I buy shoes.
Yes.
It had sent me for a month.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, too long.
Yeah, in China, just 3 or 4 days.
That's good. Yeah. In Australia,
but the company didn't give me some information.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah. Yes. That's bad. There are some good companies here. Now I'm remembering. I did. So some other big stores, they'll allow you to return, so you can buy it, take it home, try it and return it, no questions, no problem. Like the big Country Road or Witchery or, those bigger stores, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you keep the receipt, What else? And I know my stepson buys lots of things online, in big surf shops and things, and he's had great, he's always had great, service and products and so on. So he likes it, and actually my partner too. He's Catch is good.
Yeah.
Catch. He uses Catch is very good. What's another? Kogan. They're pretty good. Yeah. So actually they're okay. They're good. I recommend them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Secondly is Nikki interview. Nikki is UNSW student.
First question: why we need interpersonal trust?
Okay. Trust is important because it is the basis around which all human relationships are revealed. Without trust, there can be no relationship. Trust can come natural or it can be manifested. For instance, when there is always someone there for you, like your mother or dad, that is natural trust. Having faith in a special person in your life is trust. I think like the within the intimate relationships, a good husband or wife is trustworthy if they expresses its words and actions. They know they can trust them if they give you all of their affection. If they help your financially, give your wonderful compliments all of the time. If you find the trust of them the magnitude in life, so they are very likely. So also you can always connect on them to protect through all. If not, most of life pills. Trust is important because if you don't trust someone, then they are not available, and usually you will know it very early on. In many building a relationship, essentially trust is loyalty. Trust. So I think trust is a super important part of the healthy relationship, but it is sometimes something that many people struggle with for a lot of the different reasons. What does the trust mean? So I think the trusting someone means that you think they are reliable, they have confidence in them, and they will feel safe with them, physical and emotionally. Trust is something that two people in a relationship can build together. When they decided to trust each other, they cannot demand on or the proof to trust. Trusting someone is a choice that you make. Yeah, so I think this is this is the trust, I think.
Okay, thank you. Second question is: do you think how to increase interpersonal trust?
I think the entire purpose of the building trust with others is that they will be able to believe you when you say that you will do something, such as if you promise to perform a task for them, or they should be able to hand the task over to you and forget about it until it is completed. There will be the times when you regret making a commitment, but for the sake or of the relationship, it is generally best that you follow through on your commitment and then avoid repeating the commitment. There will be some situations where you are required to break a commitment, but This should be communicated early and treated as a renegotiation. Yeah. So I think for this question, there is an important point is that there is usually the main reason why relationship fall apart because of the bad communication skills. As mentioned above, there will be times when you have a break commitment. But if communicated early and properly, this really becomes major issues. Other important factor of the communication is to clear on what you have and have not committed to. Never let the seat of an agreement without trouble. Without the double checking that all parties crystal clear about what the actually has been agreed. Effective communication is critical to building trust. Yeah, so that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is end of interview.